Yeah, no, this is not the same video 4 or 5 times in a row, although it kind of is. We're doing scale tone triads again on 3 strings, 3 different sets or 4 different sets if you don't mind learning a fourth that's exactly like the third, and moving up and down the neck on 1 scale. This time we're doing 5 on top, which is also the root position, because it's coming up from root to 3 to 5. Everything's in the right order here. I was thinking that we'd start with the key of A. You've done A when A was in the middle of a 3 on top. Our A scale is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, 2nd, 4th, 6th, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 14. A chord, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, etc. when you saw the 3 on top. Now we're going to go from this A as the root to C sharp, the 3rd to open E. As I said before, I probably wouldn't want to do all these with open strings at first. I'd want to see what that chord looks like when it doesn't include the open, but we're going to see that on the 4 and 5 anyway. So your A is 2, 2, and O. If that were fretted somewhere, which it will be on the D, instead of an open, you'd have a fret 2 frets away. So it's 7, 7, and 5. You've seen this D a million times in your bar chord, but we're looking at just the triad on top. Likewise, the B minor is going to be the top 3 notes of your B minor. I actually taught you this as your first variation on B minor when we first started. So we've got A, up 2 frets to the B, flat the 3. There's the shape of your minor chord, 1, flat 3, and 5. Up 2 frets to the 3 chord, C sharp minor. The root goes up 1 fret to D, and it's major. We're on the 4 chord. Once again, we've had major, minor, minor, major. The 5 chord is E. You can think of the pattern starting again now. Major, minor, not minor, but diminished. We've got a root, a minor 3 or a flat 3 in my diagram now, and a flat 5. I'm only calling it a flat 3 instead of minor 3 because I don't want to write in the word diminished for the 5, so I'm calling it a flat 5, so I'll call it a flat 3 to go with it. Root, flat 3, flat 5. Once again, this is what major would look like if you moved your root up a fret. It's what minor looks like if you move the 5 down a fret. And then we're at A again. 12, 14, 14 from the top string, which was open 2, 2 in the first octave. A, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor, G sharp diminished, and A. G sharp diminished, F sharp, E and D, C sharp, B, and A. Notice I don't always say minor, mostly because I run out of air when I'm trying to name them all. But if I say B in the context of the key of A, you know it's a B minor. In fact, I'll write that in right now. The A chord has a C sharp for the 3, and an, let's put a fret there for open E. The B minor is this diagonal, B, D, F sharp. You've seen that a million times now. C sharp minor looks exactly the same, E and G sharp. D has that same F sharp as before, but the same shape as the A major, with a B and a G sharp. E is major, 9, 9, and 7. F sharp is a diagonal like the other minors, C sharp and A. G sharp has the flat 3, the B off to its left, but then a flat 5 as well. The D is further left than the 5 has been in the other chords. And then we're back to A. Here's your 12th fret E and 14th fret C sharp. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. That's your pattern for all of these. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half is the pattern for the root motion. A to B to C sharp, whole, whole, half step to D, whole, 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 D to E, E to F sharp to G sharp, and half G sharp to A. A, B, C sharp. You notice the 3, the C sharp is on the next string. A, B, C sharp, and the scale continues along there. So whole, whole, then here's our half from C sharp to D, whole, 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 half from G sharp to A, and it continues on to get the third on there. The 5th is on this string. A, B, C, D, E is 5, and the scale continues. All the same notes, of course, repeating over and over. So it's like you've got the scale in 3 different strings, starting on the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. And then we parallel them and play them as chords. We covered that in the first video when we did these in the key of D with the 3 on top. D, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, B minor, C sharp diminished, and D. Now let's move to the second set of strings. We'll do these in E. Again, we've seen these before with the 5 on the bottom, the E in the middle, and the 3 on top. Where we move from E to F sharp minor to G sharp minor to A to B, and so on. Now we're going from E to G sharp to the open B. That's imaged here. When you see that without an open string, this will now be a diagonal. Look what that looks like. That looks just like the F. I was considering doing this in the key of F because we've already done F from here, A, C, F, with the 3 on the bottom, the 5 in the middle, and the root on top. Now we're doing it from the root to the 3 to the 5. It's another portion of the same chord. But we're going to start in E for now. So we have E major. We're using this major shape, which is just part of this E chord. We move up to F sharp minor, so the 3 has to flat, 4, 2, and 2, G sharp minor, A major, B major, C sharp minor, D sharp diminished. We have to flat our 5. Again, the major would have looked like this. We raise the root. And we're on E, the diagonal now. Now, because we don't have an open, you see the diagonal that looks just like an F. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. Let's put those in. I'm going to have you pause for a moment so I can draw them a little bit better than last time. Well, that didn't work out any better. Guess what subject I always got my worst grade in? Penmanship. So I had to put in my fret here so we could have the B for the open. E, G sharp, and B. You can see the diagonal, except B is being played open as in this picture. F sharp, A, and C sharp is the F sharp chord. G sharp, B, and D sharp is the G sharp minor. A, C sharp, and E is the diagonal again. Once again, you can see that as an F shape or a full bar. You know that A, we're just playing this chunk of it. Same with the B, D sharp, and F sharp. C sharp is minor. You could see your huge bar or a small bar like an F sharp minor. And here you see your 11, 9, and 9. C sharp, E, and G sharp. D sharp is moving the 3 back into its minor position, but also flatting the 5. And E sharp is diagonal. So E seems like our lowest chord, but because of the system we're doing here right now, where we're building from that 4th string up, or the root up, we can do one more on the 5th string. If I do B, I've got B, D sharp, it's 3rd. I don't have a place for the 5th, so I have to do at least C. We've done this before where we had the E, the 3, then the 5, then the C on the top. And we saw that these were just like C chords being moved up. We're doing that again, but now we're at the root of the C. 3 is on the 4th string here. So in C we do C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. All natural notes in the key of C. So all of our notes are natural in all our chords as well. So 1, 3, 5, up a whole step to D, it's minor. 1, flat, 3, 5, F and A. E is minor. E, G, and B. F is major. F, A, and C. That's like a C chord, but it's at F now. G is also major. G, B, and D. A is minor, so we flat the 3. So C natural instead of C sharp in an A chord. B is minor third, flat 5. This one's a bit of a mess. You got to stretch out 2 frets between each finger. And then we're back at a C. We have C form bar chords, which we've run into before, where you pretend your finger is a capo and do a C type of chord. That's what gives you this F and G, and now this C at the 12th fret. 12th fret here, 15 here. So we got C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, spread out, and C, B diminished, A minor, G, F, E minor, D minor, and C. What I've not talked about is how you could use these. We could do any pattern. We could do C, F, A minor, G, C. When I have students learn them, which I haven't talked about yet, I'll just play a couple. I'll have them get good at C, D, C, D, add on E minor, D, C. Improvise on them as though you're writing a song or doing a solo with chords. Add F, E, F, G, I never did, as you know. I would play the whole thing up and down the neck, try and memorize it. As soon as I do it once, I'll do it on another set of strings in another key. New set of strings, over and over. New inversion, over and over. It's just the way I did everything. Rather, I would just now ask you to play them. Play a little bit at a time. We can move this to the G on the lower string, as we've seen every time. Our 4th string and 3rd string are the same, so I could do Gs. A minor, G, A minor, B minor, C, D, C, B minor. I could do G, E minor, D, A minor, G. I guess I have to write the C ones in here before we're done. You guys pause real quick here again. Thanks again. So here I've put in this extra fret again so we can see where the open G would be. C is the 1, E is the 3, G is the 5. When I move up to the 5th fret D, F is its minor 3rd, F's are natural in C, and A is at the 2nd fret. E has G, the minor 3rd, and the B. We're back to major. Here's your pattern. Here's your pattern for a major chord, root 3 and a space to the 5. F, A, reaching back here to the C, which would be our bar if we were doing a bar form. G is at the 10, B is at 9, D is at 7, 1, 3, 5 for a G chord. Here we flatted the 3 for the A, so A is at 12, C is at 10, E is at 9. The B has a B, D, and F. Here, B major had B, D sharp, and F sharp. The B minor had B, D, and F sharp. B diminished in the key of C has B, D, and F natural. So I've got to space each of those. And then we're back at C at the 15th fret for the C, 12th fret for the G. So that's it for your scale tone triads on one set of strings at a time, moving up and down the neck in scale form. Hopefully you guys will be able to use this on your own. What I might do is grab them from all different sets now and go into one area and play something to show you how the chords relate to each other positionally. You would never be playing up and down the neck like this for very long, going great distances. What you'd rather do is switch inversions and play in one area where you can play, just like we do in the open position, where we've got a variety of chords all played within one area instead of sliding up and down the neck. Maybe we'll explore that one soon. Are you tired of this yet? Let's find out.